Good morning, students. We are revising chapter 8 Motion. The first topic in the chapter Motion, we have to consider rest and motion. When a body does not changes its position with respect to time, it is called as rest, and when body continuously changes its position with respect to time and the surrounding, it will be called as the motion. Now, in the motion, we have to consider the three important points here: linear motion, circulatory motion, and oscillatory motion. When a body is moving under the straight line, it will be called linear motion. When a body is moving in a circular path, it will be called as circulatory motion. And when an object is moving under the to and fro or vibratory part, it is called as the oscillatory motion. Next is the physical quantities. Now it is a physical property of the material that can be measured. It is of two types, scalar and vector. Scalar quantity are those quantities which have only magnitude and not direction. Example, speed and distance. Vector quantity are those which have both magnitude as well as the direction. Examples of the vector quantity can be velocity, acceleration, displacement, momentum and force. Now, two important topic that we have to understood, that is distance and displacement. The total path covered by any body will be called as distance, and the shortest path covered will be called as displacement. Displacement, it is a vector quantity. It can be positive, negative and 0. Its SI unit is meter. Now a scale is given below. From this we will understand what is the distance and displacement. If suppose a object is moving from A to B and again moving from B to A. So it is traveling from A to B, the distance is 40 meter. But again when it is traveling from 40 to A point, B to A point, it means it is traveling under the negative direction. So here the displacement will be 0. More clearly we can understand by difference between the distance and displacement. Distance, it is the actual path covered, while the displacement, it is the shortest distance traveled between the initial and final point. Distance, it is the scalar quantity. Displacement, it is a vector quantity. Distance, it can be positive, it can be distance is always positive and can't be 0. Displacement, it can be positive, negative and 0. Next, speed and the velocity. The distance traveled by body per unit time, it is called as speed, while the displacement traveled per unit time will be called as velocity. Speed is a scalar quantity, velocity is a vector quantity. Speed is always positive, velocity it can be positive, negative and 0. But the common thing between the speed and the velocity is that both have the unit meter per second. Now, next is the important relationship. What is the meaning of average speed and what is the meaning of average velocity? Average speed means total distance covered in total time, or we can say total distance divided by total time. Average velocity can be called the sum of initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2, or we can write initial velocity as u, final velocity as v, and we can write u plus v divided by 2. Now next topic is the types of motion. There are two types of motion, uniform motion and non-uniform motion. When a body travels equal distance in equal interval of time, then it is said to be uniform motion. If you draw a graph of uniform motion, you will always get a straight line. But when you see the non-uniform motion, a body travel unequal distance in equal interval of time, it is said to be non-uniform motion. The graph of the non-uniform motion, it can be curved line, zigzag line, but it will never be a straight line. The next topic is the acceleration. Now what is the meaning of acceleration? The rate of change of velocity with respect to time, it is called as acceleration. The formula of the acceleration is v minus u upon t. Now if you see the unit, if in the place of v and u we can write meter per second and time we can write second. Now in the denominator part, s into s, it will multiply and you will get the unit meter upon second square. Acceleration, it can be positive or negative. The negative acceleration, it is called as retardation, and the unit of acceleration, it is the meter per second square.